Hi, my name is John, and this is the Boys Don't Knit Knitting Podcast. I am on episode 11, and this is going to be a short. At least I think it's going to be short because I haven't made much progress since last week, but I wanted to make a video this week. Otherwise, if I miss a week turns into 2 or 3, and Lord knows when I'll make another video. So I have done minimal progress with my store sample. It just wasn't a week for me for knitting. I've had a lot going on, and was also just feeling off and on sick. So I think I've been fighting off something for the past week or so. Anyways, one thing I've done has been making my own loom. I don't remember the name off the top of my head of what the tutorial is called or who the author of the tutorial is, but I will be posting the link in the description, so you can if you're interested in learning to weave, you can look at it. The reason why I'm taking an interest in weaving is because I've been a member of the Fresno Weaver and Spinners Guild for, I want to say it's been over a year, like a year and a half possibly. I've been a member, and I see all these beautiful things that all the members have been making, and it's been something that's been on my mind a lot. And I have been following a lot of people on Instagram that are knitters and weavers, and I've been seeing their weaving, and I'm like, this looks like it's so much fun, I got to get involved in it. So that's when I went ahead and made the loom. And I warped it, and I chose this loom because the warping process seems so easy, and I hear all of my weaver friends and members always saying about how much they hate warping or their fears of warping, and I'm like, you know what, this will be a nice little intro to warping. It's not complicated at all, because I've seen some of the table looms and the ones where you like warp it super long and then you have to crank it in and all these other things. I'm like, wow, that looks a bit complicated, but this will be fun. This will be a lot of fun. So, and the video is really fun. The lady who teaches it, she's super cool, and she has a really cool accent, and I just enjoy listening to her. You know, if I'm not weaving, she has a very pleasant voice. So that's that. Another thing I am working on today is I'm feeling super under the weather. I actually have to get up in probably about 7 hours to get ready for work. It's 4:25 right now, but I have to get up at 11:30 to go to work at 1 a.m. today. I usually like to wake up about 2 hours beforehand. I really should wake up at 11 p.m. today because I should make myself breakfast. Maybe that's where I went wrong today, because I've just been feeling sick, and tomorrow's a big day. It's truck day. And anybody who's ever done restocking knows that truck day is an important day because you have to get everything offloaded. And you would think at a craft store everything would be super artsy and fun and really relaxed, but truck day is no joke. It is very hectic. It's very intense, and you really have to be at 110% to really get everything that needs to get done. And so I'm hoping that it's a small truck, because we have a new replenishment manager, and we do have a bunch of new people on our team, so hopefully everybody just comes together this week and we get everything done really well. But until that happens, until I fall asleep, because I've already taken like about a 3-4 hour nap, because I was feeling terrible at the end of work today, I can go to bed pretty soon. Off topic. Until that happens, I am organizing. So I got all of my knitting tools, and I went to Target after work today because I work in the same shopping plaza as a Target, and I just started getting some organizers. So I have all of my long tools here, like some stitch holders, a ruler, a gauger. I have 2 of my gauges in here, my middle one, and then my one that's in the shape of a sock. I have my stitch markers here. I have the ones that are circles that you just put on, and I have the ones that are like little locks that you put on each row. I have all of my needles down here, so I have some tapestry needles, a cable needle, just in case. I don't know why I would use a cable needle. I don't use cable needles anymore. Um, and then I also have a row counter. I'll probably be putting my row counters right here, and then my eyes right there. I also have all of my crochet hooks right here. And pretty much for the rest of the day, I'm just going to be organizing things. I have a bunch of stuff I got in my stash that I was hoping to put on video today, but I was unable to do that because I still have to freeze it. I usually do about 2 or 3 rounds of freezing before I put anything in my room, because I once had a really bad case of bed bugs, and I'm pretty sure the people who were taking care of this stuff I inherited were completely clean, but just to be safe, I like to put everything in the freezer beforehand. So what that does is, let's say you get some fiber, you have no idea where it came from, who had it, yarn or whatever. If there's any pests or anything gross inside, you put it in the freezer. That's like the first round of killing things. Then you take it out. If there was any eggs, those eggs, once you thaw out everything, will think, oh, well, it's time to come out. It's, end of whatever cold weather we're having, and then you put it in the freezer again. So naturally you only need to do it twice, but I like to do it 3 times just in case. So right now I'm on round 3 of freezing. So once I pop it out of the freezer, I can then put it in my new organizers. But I got a bunch of threads or yarn for weaving, and I also got some. It's supposed to be yarn for knitting, but it's all from somebody who hand spins. So the fiber that she got, I think, was mostly for spinning for weaving, because it's very coarse, it's very rough, it's not something I would want up against my skin. And so a lot of the yarn that I inherited from this lady, which is a friend of a friend, is a little bit more coarser than my skin can handle. So I think I'll be using it for weaving. It's really beautiful yarn, and she did an amazing job, but I'm definitely will be using it for weaving. So it will get used, it will be decorated, and hopefully I can help contribute to her wonderful memory by, making some really cute things that hopefully I'll have for a while. But I had so much. Normally when people have free stuff, I'm very timid about grabbing things. I don't like to grab things. I like to, let everybody get what they want first. But my friend Juliet was just like, go ahead, take whatever you want. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to start changing things from now on. I'm just going to go and start grabbing things that I want, because whenever it comes to these like free grabs and destashings, I always get like leftovers, and I always miss out on a lot of great things because I'm not aggressive enough, Sure enough, as soon as she said go for it, I just went through everything and started grabbing all these amazing colors. And I think I probably got some really cool color combinations because of it. But those will be going in another bin I just bought. And then I also bought another bin for my Christmas knitting stuff. So it'll be a bin just for Christmas knitting. So I'll probably be putting a bunch of skeins in there, and then I'll put one bag. And as I'm knitting stuff, I will go from knitting, it'll be going from skeins of yarn to my knitting projects. But anyways, I'm going to cut this short because I think I have guests that are here at the house. And I guess if you are having a bad week, just think about it this way, it will get better. That's how I'm feeling about it. I feel like no matter how sick I get this week, it's going to get better. So I'm feeling god-awful terrible, but I'm going to show up at work at 1 a.m. in the morning with a great attitude and a lot of caffeine and just hope for the best. And that's how you should approach your days. If no matter how bad things are, things can instantly change. You never know when they're going to change. Just like how things can just suddenly go from being really great to really terrible, the same thing could happen the other way around. Things could go from really terrible to being really amazing before you know it. Well, Once again, thank you for watching. For all my returning viewers, thank you for coming back. And for any new viewers, if you have any questions, feel free to comment or direct message me. Everything I talked about, as far as tutorials, patterns, yarn that I've ever showed off, will always be in the video description. And you can find me on Ravelry as John-Fidel R, or you can find me on Instagram as Mr. Crafty Pants. That's all one word. So, same thing. John-Fidel R is JOHNFIDEL R, and that would be on Ravelry. Have a wonderful week, and I'll see you next time.